Hey, brothers and sisters, this is your brother, Michael Yahusha, coming to you with another video about our people in the world. Something that I want to tell the peoples and the brothers out there is that, I want to talk about, the Job effect, and I also want to talk about the Jonah effect. A lot of brothers out there, when they go through things, they like to attribute, their missteps and the mishaps in their lives to Job. But a man of humility will look inside of himself and see, could it be a possibility that I am under the Jonah effect? You see, one thing that I recognize with our brothers is that when we go through things, we tend to, you know, um, shield the blame or put the blame on other things. But see, I'm a man of integrity, and if I make a mistake, then I admit to my mistake. There are several times where maybe some of the things that I was going through were not attributed to the Jonah effect, but maybe the Job effect, and as well as the things that I've done that has been attributed to Job and not Jonah. A lot of us is doing things that are opposite of what the Most High wants. You see, everybody has an individual job in the kingdom of Yah. But that doesn't mean that you are the one to do the same exact job that this other brother does. Just because he speaks a certain way doesn't mean you have to speak the exact same way. You have to do exactly what the Father tell you to do. You can't worry about what this other brother is doing. You do what you're supposed to do. And sometimes doing things that the Most High wants us to do, it makes us seem like an enemy. It makes us seem like somebody who's going against the things that they're teaching, but it's not that. It's that Father has put me on another path, and the path that He's placed me on is not the exact same path that you have. When we start to realize that, then I feel that we will see clearer. Just think about how Father told certain prophets in the scriptures to lay on this side for a certain time. Think about how He told Ezekiel to eat his food and cook his food over dung. Think about how He told the prophet Isaiah to take a woman of whoring. You see, if I was told to do something like that, then the masses or my brethren would say that this nigga's crazy. But because you don't understand the will of the Most High, that's the reason why you call me crazy. Brothers and sisters, be careful who you go against. Because some things are not always directed just by the hands of man. The Father does has his hands in the midst of the things that we are doing as people. So be careful who you go against, because you could be going against the anointed of the Most High. And if you are going against the anointed of the Most High, do you know what that make you? Anti-Messiah. There's so much that we need to learn as a people, that just because you walk with a group doesn't mean that you are righteous and that group is righteous. Just because you have a mass following doesn't mean that the Father was with you. Because if you notice, let's take it back thousands of years at the time of the Messiah and the apostles. And even before that time, there has never been mass groups walking with the Most High like that. There was always a small group of men that actually followed the Most High. So put things in perspective. He said, what has been done shall be done again. So if we was to look at the major players in the grand scheme of things, we have the children of Israel, we have the Pharisees and the Sadducees, we have the Messiah, and we have the 12 apostles. Ask yourself, what place would you be placed in if Yah was to come down and choose and put you in a place? Which one would you be? Would you be of the Pharisees and Sadducees? Would you be of Israel, who had the Messiah impaled? Would that be you? Because a lot of you brothers out there are nothing but Pharisees and Sadducees. And I would say Pharisees because Sadducees didn't believe in the afterlife. But a lot of you brothers teach the commandments as a burden. These brothers out here that walk, I commend these brothers. But I do want to say one thing to these brothers that doesn't necessarily mean that the things that you are doing are correct. Because I got a problem with my brethren. I got a problem with brothers who only quote scriptures and lack the power. You got a group of men that stand on corners that quote scriptures, but yet and still the scripture tells us that he who believes in the Messiah should also be able to do the works of the Messiah. And we're not just talking about quoting a scripture or making somebody feel a certain way. We're talking about a person able to do a spiritual work to a physical being to get a physical outcome. Where are the power at, my brethren? If Yah is with you, then he should show his approval by you having the authority and power to heal. Certain men, you walked in their shadows and they were healed. But what about you? You know, we beat people down about certain things, but yet and still, if we subscribe to the scriptures, then guess what? Let's look in this book and let's see the things that should be done. Don't just breeze over the parts where the people that believe in the Messiah should have power and authority. Don't breeze over that. Let's stick to that. Let's sit in that position right there. Because a lot of you brothers, according to your works, and I'm not talking about the scriptures you read, because whatever you study is what you've mastered. If you are a doctor, then you study what? The doctrine to help you become a doctor. The information, that's what you study. If you're a sport analyst, you have notes on sports events. You have notes on sports stats. That's what you do. A lot of people like to attribute studying to acceptance. It do say study to show you thyself approved, but yet and still the scripture says those who believe in the Messiah and have a certain character and certain spirits should be able to do the exact same works of the Messiah. As a matter of fact, the Messiah says that he shall be able to do greater works than he should do. Where are the powers, my brother? I don't see them. You lack them. It is time for us to wake up as a people with compassion and love in our hearts. Just not standing on a corner reading a scripture. Just not sitting in a debate. Because the debate, guess what? You reading a scripture and quoting a scripture don't have the power to heal your body when you're going through ailments or you run to herbs. But what about the power of the Messiah, who he had the power to speak things to existence? Where's your power, my brothers? I understand the narrative of what Father bringing forth because he revealed it to me because I have a job and a duty to do. I used to sit back and wait on brothers to do certain works. When a brother did a very great thing, I remember about 12, 13 years ago, I used to pass DVDs out, walk around, try to teach people about the name of Yah. I was taking my son to get a haircut. And this gentleman, man, he pulled out a DVD from about 10, 12 years ago. He said, "Hey, Perez, I got that DVD for you." I said, "What DVD?" He said, "The DVD you gave me." You know the DVD, man, I love it, man. It's powerful information. I'm like, "What DVD?" He went in the back and got a DVD, and the name of the DVD was called The Conspiracy Against Yah's Name. That reminded me that I did my work. I didn't place my work in somebody else's hands. I went and made sure that things were accomplished. Understand one thing, brothers. There's something greater coming than you. There's something greater coming than just a person that read a scripture on a corner. There's something greater coming than a person who is reading a precept. There's something greater coming. Give praise to the Most High through the name of Yahushua HaMashiach. Glory and honor to Yah. May Yah be eternally praised. Shalom.